Hi everybody, Dan Illman, pleased to be joined by Byron King as we take a look at the All-Stakes Pick 5 on a wonderful Saturday afternoon card at Turfway Park. Races 7 through 11 comprise this sequence, the Jeff Ruby Stakes, of course, being the headliner, and the first leg is the Latonia Stakes, race number 7 at 4:07 Eastern. I'm interested to see where you're going, Byron, in here, because for me, I had to spread a little bit.
Yes, this is a race that I think, even though it drew a rather accomplished horse in Princess Warrior, the 3, a graded winner, she is untested on synthetic and also making her seasonal debut. So you add those unknown elements and you have the potential, I think, for a price. And in fact, my top choice is just that.
I'm going to use Princess Warrior in the pick 5. I'm not going to let a horse that is accomplished as she is knock me out. I'm also going to use 2 others before we get to your top pick and your also uses. Susie B is another turf horse that seems to be in good form for Michael Maker. Tyler Gaffalione gets them out. We know these connections seem to do well at Turfway. Another horse that's going to take some money. I'm going to use her, but my kind of long shot play in here is the number 9 Fizzy Friday, going out for trainer Nacho Correa. I thought this horse had some trouble last time out at Gulfstream, making her seasonal debut and first start for this barn. And this horse has done some good work, albeit overseas way back when.
Yes, and she also has some good synthetic form. She was second in the stake at Golden Gate back in December. Clearly, last time out, she raced against some nice horses at Gulfstream, came on a yielding course. So she would not surprise me in the least. I think she's an intriguing long shot.
So I'm going to go 3, 7, and 9. Tell me who you like in the first leg of this All-Stakes Pick 5.
I like a horse, the number 4, Echo. This is a horse that had primarily been a turf and synthetic runner, was claimed for $25,000 at Turfway back in December, and then went down to Oaklawn and raced in a optional claimer 2 other than allowance, and was beaten by a stakes winner in Clever Serve. Got an 85 buyer, which was head and shoulders better than anything she'd ever run before on dirt. Now she's back on the synthetic. She's by Giants Causeway, who's a fantastic synthetic sire, and she's 12-1. So I love all those elements about her. Obviously, class is the big question. She has not run in a stakes race in a while, but as I mentioned, she did lose to a stakes winner last out in Clever Serve.
And she is going out for a red-hot trainer, 8 for the first 16 at this Turfway Park meet. Let's move on to race number 8. It's the Rushaway for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. And again, a race where I'm kind of interested in 3 horses. You've got horses with some question marks, however, at short prices. On the Way to Neverland, your 2-to-1 morning line favorite, is going to stretch out beyond 7.5 furlongs for the first time in his career in his second start of the layoff. The 4 Federal Law for Mark Casse hasn't raced since November. Are you using either one of these 2 horses in the pick 5?
I think you have to use them, but I
Yes.
don't love them. I like a horse, Faraway Kitten, who didn't run well at all last time in the pulpit at Gulfstream, but is a horse that showed enough potential to win an allowance at Keeneland for Maker. You got Maker, Gaffalione. He's showing confidence in this horse by trying it here. So I think this horse is a lot better than what he showed last time out, but I think you have to at least use those 3 in here, if not even another. It's not a slam dunk race in terms of just 1 or 2 horses standing out.
6-1 on Faraway Kitten, a horse that Byron mentioned. I would use the 2 favorites On the Way to Neverland and Federal Law. My long shot's Overprotective, who I think ran better than it looked in the Battaglia last time out, making a big wide move on the far turn before flattening out. Just simply not as good as some like it. Hot Brown gets a little bit of class relief here. Perhaps the blinkers on will get this horse into the race a bit sooner. So I'll use the 2 favorites and Overprotective in the Rushaway. We move on to the Kentucky Cup Classic, race number 9. This is the 3rd leg of the All-Stakes Pick 5, and I got to be honest with you, Byron, I really like a horse in this race, and I'm going to single Sniper Kitten, the number 2. Last time out in the Tropical Park Derby, He went in, he just ran into a really sharp Shug McGahee trained runner in breaking the rules. There wasn't a lot of pace in this race. He altered course to the outside. He fired home late, and he already has a win at 1 1/8 on turf. I think Sniper Kitten's got some upside for that familiar combination of Maker and Gaffalione.
Yes, he does. And this is a horse that I remember last year at 3, the early part of his 3-year-old career, I really thought he had the potential to be a graded kind of horse. And he kind of went off form, and obviously, as you mentioned, his fine second in the Tropical Park Derby, it was nice to see him bounce back and get back on his game. He's a contender in here. My choice is Royal Sun, the 6 horse at 5-1. This was a horse that was razor sharp about a year and a half ago. He ran in this race last year. He had a terrible trip. And then his 2 subsequent starts, I don't think it really suited him. One was a turf race at Churchill, and then last time he was returning from a long layoff. Since that race, they've kept him fresh. They bypassed the prep, so I think they think that they didn't want to, him to run his A race in that prep. I think they've had him geared up for this return spot. 3 for 6 at Turfway, and I think he can just sit off the likely pace setter Lanier.
And he has run some big races on synthetic surfaces in the past at Turfway Park. The Bourbonette Oaks is the 4th leg of the All-Stakes Pick 5. You and I did an expanded stakes preview. We talked about every horse in the race at great length. Let's talk about who we would use in a Pick 5 standpoint. I'm going to use my top pick Birdie. I'm going to use your top pick Into Trouble. I'm also going to use Unapologetic Me as my sort of A's, and we would urge folks to use the Ticketmaker application. I think it's just wiser and more affordable in order to play these sort of multiple race wagers. If I had to use a deep backup, it'd be the 8 Malibu Party.
And one more that I would sprinkle in there would be Red Rounder, another make horse going turf to synthetic, apologies. Turf to synthetic, who's taking coming out of some pretty salty stakes races.
And the main course for this All-Stakes Pick 5 is the Grade 3 Jeff Ruby Stakes. Again, you and I handled this race with the stakes preview. We talked about every horse in every race. From a Pick 5 standpoint, I want to use my top pick Skywire. I want to use your top pick Some Hot Like It Hot Brown. I also want to use a little bit of Curlin Gray, who I think is going to appreciate this distance. And again, if I was using Ticketmaker, my backup would be the 8 12th of Neverland.
And 5-Star General is another one. He's my second choice in the race behind Some Like It Hot Brown. I think he's going to be the pace setter, and he'd be one that I couldn't leave off.
We hope all our friends at home enjoy the great Turfway Park card on Saturday, especially this All-Stakes Pick 5. Races 7 through 11, it kicks off with the Latonia Stakes, which has an approximate post time of 4:07 Eastern. Best of luck.